I greet each of you here this morning in the love and in the light of the one infinite Creator. As always, we are pleased to be called to this group. When you seek that which we also seek, you chose to know more and ever more of the mystery which surrounds us and expands infinitely in which direction we choose to go. We have spoken many times of the path of seeking, of the mystery we see before us along this path. But the path of seeking is not a straight line, my children. If you wander off any line that is not straight, you are still on your path of seeking. For to the one who seeks the mystery, the entire life is a path. It contains many seemingly circuitous roads. But when it is realized that each present moment contains infinity, that each point in space-time or time-space contains all that there is, the concept of a straight line being the way the path is recognized to be only an analogy. You wish information this morning on the concept and the nature of time-space. Time-space is that which surrounds you at all times and in all spaces, shall we say. In your present illusion, you are consciously aware of space-time, and it is that in which you conduct your daily activities. It is that with which you are most familiar. Time-space permeates all of space-time, and you move within this as well, although you do not have as great a degree of awareness of this. You are aware that space-time is the home, shall we say, of the illusion of incarnation, and that when an entity is not conscious of being within the incarnational illusion, whether between incarnations beyond the process of physical incarnation, or in some other way aware of the dimensions of space-time, whether in the dreaming state or other means of alterations of consciousness, then the field of time-space is that of which the entity has primary awareness. Time-space is that realm within which we are able to be with you at all times, that we may inhabit space-time as well. The movements which are possible to make in time-space are variable, as are those in space-time, and perhaps more widely variable because of the greater divergence of types of entities that inhabit time-space. There are entities of more differing densities that inhabit these realms, and their abilities to move vary according to their individual development. This is also true of space-time, which in your current illusion is inhabited by the first, second, third, and beginning of fourth density entities. And you may see the divergence of the abilities to move in, for example, the rock entity, which moves very slowly in space as compared to the third density entity, which moves about in space seemingly at will, limited only by such physical laws as the entity is aware of. There are similar laws governing the fields of time-space and similar divergences in the abilities of varying entities to move therein. We ourselves have developed abilities to move much more freely, shall we say, than the time-space counterpart of the walking entities of which you are familiar. Each entity that has the appearance of solidity in your illusion also has the time-space counterpart, which exists in a superimposed, shall we say, manner. This time-space counterpart is discernible to some of your entities who have developed the capacity for this type of perception. The time-space counterpart is that which is worked with very often by those with healing abilities. Each here is aware of such instances. Thus, the separation between time-space and space-time is not such a clear-cut distinction as you may have thought, although it is possible to move purely in the realms of time-space without being a part of space-time. It is not possible to be in space-time without also being part of time-space, or the time-space realm containing, shall we say, those of space-time. We notice this instrument struggle with the various terms used and apologize for the limitations of language and speech, for we are attempting to communicate complex concepts with a very limited amount of words that may be applied to them, and thus of necessity reuse words in slightly different applications when the meaning would be clearer were there different words available. However, this being the illusion, we must all do the best we can, shall we say. I am quo, and we feel that these words are a sufficient beginning upon this topic, and would be happy to respond to further questions should they arise among those here or others that participate in seeking with this group.